I'm Jordan Soto with Ringba, and today I have with me Business Development Manager, Mathjis Mesters. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about Ringba's route calls to dynamic ring tree targets and how it improves performance marketing campaigns. Mathjis, what are ring tree targets and how do they work?
So one of Ringba's goals has always been to provide the industry's most sophisticated call selling technology, and we've accomplished that with our ring tree technology. This feature is for companies that are selling calls, and more call sellers use Ringba for this feature than any other inbound call tracking software on the market. We enable our customers to ping their buyers with data before the call so that their clients can place a bid on that call if they want a shot at selling that consumer their products. Our clients can then route the call to the highest bidder to maximize their revenues. Let me show you how it works in the system. First, I'd like to point out that ring tree technology is inherently technical. That is why Ringba employs an entire team of support engineers who help our customers via live chat. So no support tickets or anything like that. This entire team is made up of developers and people that are way more intelligent than I am, so ready to help whenever you need it with these more technical items. With that said, let me give you at least a high-level, simplified explainer about ring tree technology. So ring tree exists in two levels. First is the ring tree target, which is the actual destination, and then a ring tree, which is where one or more ring tree targets are housed in a routing plan. And let's cover the ring tree target first. So like I said, these are the actual destinations, and I've made a few test ring tree targets here. If we open one up, you can see that it's a lot like a normal target. Again, this is your destination of your buyer, where you're sending the call to. You might have a phone number. This can be dynamic. You can set hours. You have cap settings. You can set concurrency settings. And all the way down here, you can, of course, add any other tag routing filters like states or something like that we already covered in a previous routing video. The main difference is that there is this request setting right here. All this is a URL endpoint that we are now able to ping with data. This is a URL endpoint that your buyer will provide you. I just threw in a phony URL here just to show you that. So again, the biggest difference is this is a normal target or destination that you would usually be used to in Ringba, but the main difference here is the URL endpoint that we are able to ping with data. Now, the next step is going to be the ring tree. The ring tree is where you can house one or more ring tree targets. The reason for this is so that we can actually choose to route the call to the highest bidder. Now, if I open up this test ring tree that I made, you can see that we can put into the revenue settings a minimum revenue amount. Here, for example, keep in mind I put $29.01. And then down here you have the ping targets where you add them. So I added our 3 test ring tree targets. Now the last part is in the campaign. In the routing plan, it's really important for me to note that you can actually house dynamic targets, so these ping tree targets, as well as your static targets, so you get the best of both worlds. Now, why I told you to keep in mind that I set the minimum revenue to $29.01 is for this example, you can see that these two are static targets at the bottom. The top one here is a dynamic target. So the minimum revenue from those 3 ping tree targets has to be $29 or a penny or higher, or we'll then send it to this static target who pays $29. And if he's not available, then we'll send it to this last but not least static target that pays $25. So the point that I'm making here is that we can put multiple dynamic targets into a pool, or a ring tree rather, collect the bids and see who is bidding the highest, and then we'll send the call to that bidder. If none of the bids are higher than $29, we'll then resort to selecting whichever target is next in your routing plan, be that one of these static targets or even another ring tree with other dynamic targets.
Thanks, Mathjis. This video is brought to you by Ringba. Ringba is the call tracking platform trusted by industry-leading pay-per-call companies. Connect your online marketing to your offline sales and get the data you need to drive revenue with Ringba. To learn more about how Ringba is changing the future of pay-per-call, visit www.ringba.com.